Yo, what's up? Happy Monday. We'll let everybody file in here on a Monday. What's going on? Monday, January the 4th. We are back from the holiday. Not that we ever left, but we're past the holiday into 2021. We are going to go ahead and open up the phone lines, guys. 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, comments, everything else. Why is this glaring? So there we go. Glare was bad. I kind of had to squeeze in the words there at the bottom, but you see a step in the right direction. A lot of pun intended. Again, guys, I'll open up the phone lines. We'll let people kind of file in here on a Monday. Hope you're all doing well. 843-790-3377. Got a lot to get into. Yeah, so again, taking all your questions, calls, comments, everything else. Phil, what's going on? Brandon Wagner, no, I do not own an Ohio State hat. I do not own an Ohio State hat. So, yeah. So, other way. It's a cocky doll. So, trying to beef up the studio a little bit, added some fun pieces. I've also got this foam finger up here that I won't pull it down. But, yeah, just trying to beef up the stew a little bit where we're trying to add, I'll be adding some memorabilia in here too and everything and trying to fill up the walls and fill up the background. And you see we got the bat and the cocky and all that. So, got the Braves right here. Had to move that too. So, yeah, figure why not? You know what I mean? So, appreciate you guys tuning in. 843-790-3377. I'll put the number right here. Let's see. And we're going to go ahead and jump to the phone lines. We already got a call. So,
Justin.
Hey, Justin, what's up, man?
Not much. How you doing, Chris?
I'm good. How's it going?
Doing good. Yeah. It's good to be a Gamecock fan today.
Yeah, no, it is, especially after that game Friday. I know we're all happy to see Ohio State do us all a big favor. So,
yeah.
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 How do you feel about the wide receiver coach?
I feel good, Chris. I think this is a good hire.
Yeah, no, I like it too. I mean, listen, I'm not going to overreact one way or another. But the guy develops players. He's a really good recruiter. So, and he's obviously really highly regarded amongst coaching circles, if you will. And it seems like Arkansas fans were really upset to lose him. So I'll take that as a positive sign. I think a lot of them were saying they wanted him to be their next OC. So, I think it's a positive addition to the staff. I mean, we'll see. He's definitely got his work cut out for him. We all know South Carolina's deficiencies at the wide receiver position. But, yeah, I mean, overall, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the hire. Again, I'm giving Beamer the benefit of the doubt either way, really. But I think it was definitely a good addition. So, be interesting to see if we find out today anything regarding the DC or defensive backs coach or any of these other coaches. Because I know Board of Trustees is supposed to meet at like 3 o'clock or so to approve contracts and all that. And you'd assume the defensive coordinator will be a part of that. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But, no, I thought the step hire was was a good hire. So, like I said, he's got his work cut out for him with that wide receiver room. But I'm excited. I'm excited for sure.
Yeah, me too, Chris. And Chris, we got hope we get there next year, too. That's what I'm hoping for,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So, for sure, man.
Yeah. And Chris, my second question is, we talked about Texas, Alabama offense coordinator.
Sarkisian, yeah. I mean, it's interesting. Do I think Sark is an elite coach? I don't really know. I don't know that I call Sark an elite coach. I was surprised they fired Tom Herman. I mean, I'm surprised and I'm not. I'm surprised because they literally said 3 weeks ago they were retaining him. He was coming back. And then they won their bowl game and they still fired him. That's kind of what shocked me. But, Texas is a tough job and there's really high expectations. And I think there were other things. There were external factors in regards to Herman and kind of his nuances and the way he operated that I think probably went into Texas fans wanting him gone. But, Sarkisian getting the job. We'll see. Again, that's a tough job. The expectations are really high. And, you got Oklahoma doing what they're doing. They don't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. So, we'll see what happens. I mean, I think Sark is a good coach. I think if nothing else, they'll be fun to watch offensively. But Will he go win national titles there? That's yet to be seen. So I don't know. We'll kind of see what happens. But yeah, man, I appreciate the call. Have a great Monday. Thanks so much.
You too. Take
All
care.
right, take care, bro. Thanks. Yeah, good stuff. Good start to a Monday, guys. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Like I said, I don't know why the glare on this is so bad. Somebody asked about Dale Phillips, the picture behind Cocky. So our friend at Apex Art and Design, apexartanddesign.com, apexartanddesign.com. You can also find him on Instagram, apex.artanddesign. He's got this one. He's got the Clowney hit. He's got Kevin Harris. He's got Connor Shaw. Check it out. And if you have any suggestions for him, shoot him a DM on Instagram, apex.artanddesign. He's taking suggestions every single day. He can draw anything. Jeremy Smith, awesome Gamecock, mad talented. Be sure to check him out, apexartanddesign.com. Christian Carter, not Gamecocks related, but what Philadelphia did to Jalen Hurts last night was pathetic. It's like they wanted to lose on purpose so the Giants wouldn't make the playoffs. It's interesting to me because the whole tanking thing, like people are ripping the Eagles for tanking. But if you could control what draft pick you got, why wouldn't you? I don't know. I'm not a big NFL guy. I just think to myself, I try to equate it from the college side of things. Like if South Carolina could lose every game and assure themselves the number one prospect in the country, like it might be worth it. I don't know. I'm not educated enough. Like I don't watch enough NFL to tell you about Jalen Hurts or the Eagles or whatever they're doing. I just, let's see. I'm going to butcher this name, but Roosevelt, Batson Cooper, is Connor Shaw going to be on the sideline? No, I think he's going to be an off-field role. He's going to be involved with the program for sure, but an off-the-field role, which I think is fine. I think Connor Shaw, I don't think Connor Shaw necessarily wants to be on the field. I don't think Connor Shaw wants to live that life of an assistant coach. I definitely got that feel from him. I had him on our show like 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, whatever. And, we talked about his tenure at Furman, him being tight ends coach, and he just didn't seem like a guy that wanted to live that life of a football coach, those long, strenuous hours. Connor Shaw's a big family guy and, got a wife, got a young child. And, I can definitely understand. I mean, those guys work insane hours. So maybe one day, but I just don't think right now Connor wants to live that life. But again, keeping him involved with the program was a must, and not surprised at all that Shane Beamer and company are doing that. So, again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls. Appreciate you tuning in, 843-790-3377. A little bit of a teaser here. Obviously, again, you guys saw this morning we dropped the podcast episode 351 in regard, just talking about everything basketball, the staff hire and everything else, and then Chris White, the interview. Probably going to have to wrap this one up 5 minutes early because we do have an interview at 1 o'clock. And since you guys are in here, I'll tell you who it is. Former Gamecocks quarterback Chris Smelly jumping on the airwaves. Very excited to talk to Chris Smelly. Eric Sullivan, cool with Step as the hire, but what happened to get more former players involved? Got rid of Rod Wilson and hired Eric Kimmery, so basically a wash in that area. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's tough to say. I mean, I'll tell you guys again, I'll spoil this for Thursday. Arturo Freeman was a guy that I chatted with, and Eric, I know you're going to know Arturo very well. Arturo Freeman was a guy I chatted with last night. That interview will drop on Thursday. And we obviously talked about that a little bit. And, it's interesting that I don't know. You can't have – I'm not saying every single coach on staff should be a former player. Like, I know that's unrealistic, but I love getting Gamecock blood in the building. As many former players you can get, whether they're an analyst, whether they're an off-field role, whether they're a coach, get them in there. So you have to trust Shane Beamer. You have to trust Shane Beamer and let him work and hire the guys he feels are the best possible fit. I thought a guy like Jason Barnes at Dutch Fork would have been a fantastic hire for the wide receiver position, but I get it. A lot of it is SEC ties and relationships with high school coaches. And like, I understand where they're coming from. You want to hire the best possible guy. But I don't know, man. I don't know. So I don't know. Andrew Bowers, chances we have a top 10 class by 2022 or 2023. Top 10. 2022 is going to be a good shot for you because Gunnar Stockton is literally leading the way. I mean, I think if you can put together a solid season in 2021, if you can go 6-6 or better, you never know. With a guy like Gunnar Stockton lead the way, like I said, you never know. It's possible. It's possible. I won't predict it, but it's possible. So Phil Harris, tanking is a weird American sports phenomenon. Being rewarded for losing is un-American. Yeah, I mean, that's just the way it works, though. You get the number one draft pick if you lose every year. So obviously, again, that's not how it goes in college, but that's how it works in the NFL. You get the number one pick if you lose every game. So, I got my best friend's a Falcons fan, and he's never somebody who's pulling for his team to lose, but he told me, you get to these last 2-3 games of the season and your season's a wash. You're kind of pulling for him to lose. Like, there's no point in winning and ruining your draft pick. So I totally get where he's coming from. Again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. Appreciate you all tuning in. Over 120 people in here right now. Thank you so much for the love, support. Like I said, really excited. We're really getting 2021 going now. Hope you all had a fantastic New Year's weekend, if you will. It's kind of funny. This is, when I used to work in the corporate world, this is kind of the point now. We're past the holiday season, if you will, because really from that second week in December, I'd say, I remember specifically being in the office that second week of December until like this point, you just felt useless. Like if you were at work, you didn't want to be there. Nobody wanted to be there, or you just took the entire time off. So I know for a lot of you, you're probably back rolling full steam ahead. Obviously, we haven't gone anywhere, been doing the live streams, the podcast, all that good stuff. But very, very excited. Some big things coming. I talked about it on the podcast, and I'll let you guys know the NCAA streams. The NCAA streams are coming back this week, and I'll ask you guys, you can leave it in the chat or whatever. What would you rather see? Road to Glory or Dynasty first? Road to Glory or Dynasty? What would you rather see? Which player, if it's Road to Glory? I left the poll on Twitter between Luke Doty, Marshawn Lloyd, and Kevin Harris. And then also we got a merch drop coming either tomorrow or Wednesday that I'm really excited about, that I know all Gamecock fans are going to love. So things are in motion. Really, really excited in regards to the positive momentum. Of course, I talk a lot about that, but man, excited, man. 2021 is here, and I know we're all fired up. And I appreciate you guys loving, support, and tuning in, and just really, really pumped. Also, our new Cox and Cola initiative, brand new podcast, media entity, if you will, rolling out. I'm sure you guys probably saw the teaser over the weekend, or I guess that was on Friday. But for those that are asking, if you go back about a month or two, Ethan Kelly joined me, and we sort of talked about that, about what that's going to be. So that's going to be a new initiative in regards to, it's basically a brand new media outlet or media entity, if you will, that right now is going to be powered by the Spurs Up Show, but really the focus, it's going to be basically a podcast for students at South Carolina. For the younger demographic, the student demographic, obviously that's something we want to tap into. And so that's why Ethan Kelly, who's a student at South Carolina, who's done a lot of great work for me, he's going to be spearheading that. He's going to have a co-host as well. But I'd say the format is probably going to be very similar to how I operate and do content. They're going to be doing everything from podcasts, social media, merch, everything. So really excited about that too. Again, I know I'm rambling. Let's get back to your questions. Thomas Walker, I don't understand Clemson fans getting so butthurt over us pulling against them. I fully expect and don't mind them doing it to us in an in-state route success program, affect success of the other program. So, of course, I want them to fall. Yeah, and it's so funny. Clemson fans made this weekend such a success because it's so easy to get under their skin. It's so easy. And, man, I did a great job. we did a great job of it. Gamecock fans on social media in general did a fantastic job of it. Tim Dorn, Justin Stepp is the best hire Beamer has made so far. He's a good hire. It's a solid hire for sure. Jordan Beers, the quality is super bad for everyone or just me. Let me know, guys, if the quality is lacking right now. I think it's, from what I can tell on my end, it looks like things are okay. Jordan, I want to refresh your feed. Whoops. If the quality's bad, let me know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it would be. Wi-Fi seems to be good. Everything's good. Let's see. Tyler Knoll says Road to Glory. Yeah, I think Road to Glory would be fun. So, which player, though? Which player? I'm thinking Luke Doty. Would be the best one, but yeah. Brian Grice says it's bad. I have no clue why the quality would be bad. I have no clue. If you guys want me to try to refresh it, I guess I can. I have no idea what would be happening here. Maybe close some things out. I don't know. Maybe I need to close some things out. I don't know. You guys let me know. Again, technology's a great thing until it isn't. So here, we'll refresh. All right, let me know if that's better. I just refreshed it a little bit, so you guys let me know if there's issues. Again, it's not me. Technology, great until it's not. Landon Lynette, my favorite response from Clemson fans this weekend was 2-8, and did y'all play this weekend? I mean, again, it's like Carolina fans. We know that Clemson would have beaten us. We know that the score would have been ugly, but we're still going to laugh at their misfortune without a doubt. So let me know if that's better, guys. I just refreshed the StreamYard platform, so let me know if that's any better. Apologies if there's been any technical difficulties or whatever. All right, so let's see. Scott Crane, what's up, Chris? I'm recovering from COVID-19. Had a lot of extra time to watch your podcast live. I want to ask you, who do you think will actually be our new defensive coordinator? Scott, first things first, wishing you a smooth and successful recovery. Obviously, I know COVID is no joke, and I know it can suck. My parents actually had it. They got over it. That was back in like June. But I know it can knock you down. But defensive coordinator, I think it's going to be Derek Mason. I think at this point, all signs point towards Derek Mason. I'd be pretty surprised if it's not Derek Mason. So, Toby, probably already said, just tuning in, any word on Derek Mason again. I think he's the guy. I don't have any certain word right now, but I think he is the guy. I think he's going to be the Gamecocks defensive coordinator. So, okay, everybody's saying it looks like the stream is a little better. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. Wi-Fi is working fine on this end. I have no clue. I have no clue what's going on. So blame the StreamYard platform. Maybe they're having a tough day. I don't know. So, again, guys, 843-790-3377, taking your questions, comments, calls as well. I would be happy with the Derek Mason hire. I think not just, obviously we all know, I think we all know he is a well-respected defensive coach and a guy that, you can't really judge him off what he did at Vanderbilt. I mean, it's Vandy. He doesn't have the resources to win there, but somebody who did really good work at Stanford, even his Vandy teams were pretty solid on the defensive side of the football. But I really think more so what he brings to the table in regards to, his charisma, his swagger, his whole attitude. You know what I mean? I think that would be a welcome, addition to Gamecock football for sure. So, let's see here. And if you guys want to know, by the way, about the Justin Stepp hire, you guys have been asking a lot about that. Alex McGrath, who I know you're all familiar with, he approves of the Justin Stepp hire, said that he does not know him personally, or he said he met him, but it was a long time ago. Says he's good friends with another buddy of his who says that he is the best. So Alex McGrath is on board with the Justin Stepp hire. So in case you guys are wondering. That's what Alex has to say about it. So, again, 843-790-3377, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls. Normal schedule this week for the pod, of course, Monday through Friday. We'll also do the Daily Crow, of course, Monday through Friday, noon to 1. A quick reminder, basketball games on Wednesday and Saturday. We are bringing back the pregame and postgame lives, the pregame and postgame Daily Crow, if you will, taking you guys' questions. We'll do Wednesdays 8 to 8:30. Before that game, Wednesday night, tip-off at 9 o'clock against Texas A&M. And then Saturday, South Carolina plays Ole Miss at 6. We will do the pregame show 5 to 5:30. And, of course, the postgame shows immediately following the conclusion of the game. But the pregame and postgame shows will be back for basketball, something I really wanted to do and really excited about getting that going. So, again, really excited about that. Basketball season's finally back. Do you guys have any basketball questions? Of course, South Carolina getting the win over the weekend. I know it was Florida A&M, of course, and it was a tough game, 78-71. I was in the building. Interesting game for sure. Entertaining, if nothing else. Playing with half your roster, had a month off. Not sure what you can really expect, but got to get it together quick because Texas A&M's a really solid club, and you play them Wednesday night, and you're getting back in SEC play, and it's got to all come together quickly. You know what I mean? It's got to all come together quickly. So we'll see what happens. Somebody says, do we still get Torian Gray if we get Mason? I think so. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't. So. Todd Noel, funny when Brent can't steal offensive signs how mediocre his defense is. Loved every bit of that throttling Friday night. Clemmy fans were calling for Dabo's head after the game. Dude, the way Justin Fields played, what an incredible performance from Justin Fields. The dude is an absolute animal. Todd Smith, I pissed my little sister off so much. She was a huge Clemson fan. She blocked me on Facebook and told me to go F off. Wow. What a time. Wonder if she'll unblock you. You got to let us know if she unblocks you. John Gibb, hope we can get the Clem Sucks game rescheduled and throttled. I'd love to see the game get rescheduled too. I'll be honest with you guys, though. I'm not optimistic. I just think that with, South Carolina's already got to reschedule the Kentucky game. So I don't know how they're going to get it in. I hope they get it in, but I don't know how they're going to get it in. So Sydney Boyle, very impressed with Seventh Woods. Yeah, I thought Seventh had a pretty solid game. Of course, A.J. Lawson leading the way, 25 points. He had to have that type of game for you. So, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what Seventh has in store for Wednesday night. So, Greg Bedinger seems like the SEC is solid this year in basketball. Yeah, the SEC's been good the last couple of years. Yeah, the SEC's gotten much better when it comes to basketball for sure. Thomas Walker, is it possible for you to get recruits on the podcast? I'd love to hear what the current view is of our program in the eyes of a recruit. Yeah, we've had some guys. I mean, you remember Colton Gauthier, Bryce Steele, when he was committed, came on. I had Marshawn Lloyd on the show last December. So, yeah, definitely. That's definitely something I'm looking into. And, would love to get a guy like Gunnar Stockton on. Been unable to get in touch with him. But, yeah, would love to hear thoughts from Gunnar. And I know that's one that fans would love to hear. So, I'm going to do my best to get a guy like Gunnar on. If he replies and we can get him on, we'll do it. So, Scott Crane. Absolutely can't wait for 2021 kickoff and an early prediction. What do you feel like our Gamecocks football season record will look like? I'm going to say we're going 7-5 this season. I think we're going to be a completely new and welcome culture, so we're going to start off winning. I say 6-6. I think 7-5 is possible, but I'll say 6-6 for now. So, Jay, will anybody else be back for the Texas game? I have no idea. I don't think that's something we'll probably find out until Wednesday, probably right before tip-off, honestly. So, Tyler Knoll, Justin Fields over Jake Fromm. How Kirby has a job of letting him go blows my mind. He's going to have nightmares forever over that. Yeah, my buddy works for Georgia football, and we've talked about that a lot. And, I mean, he basically told me that just Fields wasn't ready, and he didn't want to wait. It's a shame for them, but it just kind of is what it is. That's kind of the nature of college football now. So, let's see. We got a text on the text line here. Do you think the game being close versus Florida A&M is because of our team talent or because we were shorthanded? I think it was a combination of being shorthanded and you haven't played in a month. I think, again, it's tough to be cool in that after you haven't played in a month and you had half your roster. So, Jim Widener, if we don't name a DC today, I think it's time to get concerned. I don't agree with that. I mean, listen, it's Shane Beamer is on nobody's schedule but his own. He's on his own schedule. He's not on my schedule. He's not on your schedule. He's going to name a DC when he wants to name a DC. I don't think if you don't name him today, though, it's something to be concerned about, if you will. But I think there's a good chance we find out. Again, you got the Board of Trustees meeting, this afternoon at like 3 or 3:30 or something like that. I think there's a good chance, we do find out. So, again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377 is the number to call in if you do want to call in. A lot to get into here on a Monday. It is a month until National Signing Day, Jim. You are correct. You You are correct. Those are facts. I will give you that. Deacon_Liam. Who's your top DC choice, and who is your nightmare pick? I mean, I guess my top choice would be Mason at this point. And my nightmare pick would have been Todd Grantham, but that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So I think we're fine in that regard. Let's see. Chandler Bryan, are you going to the game Wednesday night? Wasn't necessarily planning on it. You know, it's going to be a game-by-game basis whether I go to basketball games. You know, just with the limited capacity and, you know, we'll see. I don't know. It's, you know, I'm going to look at tickets right now. See, I don't have season tickets to basketball this year. I mean, tickets are going for what? $11? You can literally get a ticket for $11. I don't know if you can buy. See, here's the thing, though. I don't know if you can buy individual seats, and I'd just be going just me. So, I mean, I don't know. Stephen Cash, is Kevin Steele in the mix? I don't think so. I think it's going to be Mason. Everything I'm hearing, it's Mason. I think it's going to be Derek Mason. I think it's going to be Derek. I'd be pretty damn surprised at this point if it's not Derek Mason. So, again, guys, quick reminder, check out the podcast that dropped this morning, episode 351, breaking down basketball, Justin Stepp, DC talk, of course, talk about the Clemson debacle, if you will, Ronnie Porter committing. Got into a lot on a Monday. And, of course, Chris White, former Gamecocks offensive lineman, he joined the show. Really, really good stuff. Check out that interview. If you guys don't remember, if you guys do not remember, former Gamecocks offensive lineman started every game of Steve Spurrier's first 2 seasons out at South Carolina. So, let's see. Jonathan Lee, anyone in the transfer portal we can get excited about? Wide receivers, DBs. I think there's a ton of guys in the portal. And again, I don't know all their names off the top of my head, but yeah, there's a lot of good players in the transfer portal for sure. Yeah, no doubt. Landon Lynette, not Carolina related, but what are your thoughts on Tom Herman getting canned in favor of Sark? I was a little surprised. I was. I mean, you take a look at Herman's record, and it wasn't really that bad. I think there were a lot of external things probably behind the scenes that we don't know about that got him canned. I really do. I mean, what surprised me again was just like 3 weeks ago, they said, hey, we're keeping Herman on. He's our guy, blah, blah, blah. And then they win their bowl game, and then they fire him. Like, it just made no sense. It was crazy, honestly. So, let's see. Again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls as well, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Let's see. Bryce is a good interview. Cool to hear about the fight. Yeah, awesome interview. Chris was awesome. Awesome conversation. Billy Prince, too. Big baseball fan here. Same. Who's your starting weekend rotation, midweek starters, best hitters? Yeah, I'm really hoping over the next week or two, obviously, maximum 2 weeks, we find out what the schedule is because we start baseball content this month, guys. We'll start the countdown to opening day, all that good stuff. And I'll start breaking down position units and all that. Right now, my weekend rotation, I think the Sunday roll is what's up for grabs. You've got Thomas Farr, Brandon Jordan. I think that's your Friday, Saturday. Could a guy like Mag Cotto be your Sunday? Will they move Brett Carey back in the starting rotation? It's really tough to say. Unfortunately, I was unable to be at any of the inner squads in the fall. So it's kind of tough to say, but South Carolina's loaded. I think South Carolina's going to be a really good team this year. Brennan Malone, Wes Clark, Brady Allen, Braylon Wimmer in that lineup. Brandon Fields is a new guy to watch as well. Really, really excited for what South Carolina's going to bring to the table this year. So, John Gibbs, I think if we're able to win at least 7 games next year, then we'll be back in a few years. Not getting overconfident with this, but a 7-win season will clearly show coaching and player development from what we have now. And yeah, I don't want fans to get too high of expectations in Beamer's first year because, listen, there's still a lot of holes to fill. There's a lot of holes to fill in this roster. I think you'll see a South Carolina team that plays much better, that is well coached. I think 6-6 is very fair, but I just warn Gamecock fans, don't get your expectations too high in year one of Shane Beamer. You still got to have the players. You still got to go get players. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I think 7-5 is very, very possible. So, Brian Scott Fitness, it's going to be Mason. Why are they waiting on naming him DC? Time's wasting. I have no idea. Again, Beamer's on his own schedule. So, Greg Bedinger, Texas is tough on coaches unless you win big. Hey, I will never blame a Texas fan, though, for having high expectations. I will never blame them. So, Chandler Bryan, if you're able to be there next Tuesday night when we play Tennessee, let's talk some Gamecock sports. Let's do it. Yeah, I'll let you know. Like I said, it's going to be I'll probably go to a few. I'll probably go to a handful of games. Pick and choose my spots, if you will. But not really sure which games it'll be. Not really sure which games it'll be. So. Let's see. How would you guys feel? I'll ask you this. How would you guys feel about, because I know a lot of and I might do this as like a test. How would you guys feel about doing a live stream during the basketball game? I mean, I've had some people suggest that. I don't know if that's something you guys would be interested in as far as me going live and watching the game and live reacting and live talking about it. I mean, I don't know, just an idea. I've seen some people suggest it. So let's see. William Shue, hopefully stepping in some good wide receivers, commit or transfer. Indeed, that's going to be the big area you're going to focus on in the transfer portal. Jonathan Lee, who are we waiting on for coaches to get hired by Beamer? I know DC, anyone else. Plus, they will have to hit it hard if we're going to get a good class for this year. Yeah, defensive backs coach is the other one. Defensive backs coach. Scotty knows, should they go after the 5-star tight end from LSU? Yeah, why shouldn't they? I mean, South Carolina should go after anybody that can come in and make plays. You need all the playmakers on offense. You need everybody. So, Justin, Happy New Year. Way to go, Gamecocks basketball win. Also, what's up? I seen Steve took the Texas job and then turned it down. Sarkisian took the Texas job. He has been hired as Texas's head coach. Jason, hot bats this year in the Diamond. Oh, yeah. I think South Carolina's lineup is going to be really, really good this year. So, Brent says Shane needs a minimum of 2 full recruiting cycles. I agree, especially before you can start to, expect 8+ wins. I think, he's got to get guys in there. He's got to get guys in there, man. I mean, bottom line, he's got to get, you want to first have a well-coached team, but you got to have players. You got to have players, bottom line. So, Maddox, what's going on? And taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Mac Jones has won the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award. Basketball live stream. People seem to be down for that. We might do it as a test. I don't know. I have mixed feelings on it. But you never know. We'll see. We'll see. We might do it. Let's see. Walker Nelson, what are your expectations for the 2021 season under new head coach Shane Beamer? Yeah, again, my prediction, my expectations are 6-6. I think a 500 season. And again, the expectations at South Carolina should never be less than making a bowl game. You should never. I don't care what the circumstance is. South Carolina fans should never have lesser expectations than making a bowl game. Because when you do that, you're getting to like Vandy level. You know what I mean? You're getting to Vandy level. So I think it's more than fair for South Carolina fans to expect a 6-6 or better season. I think South Carolina has the players. It looks like they have the coaches in my mind. I think 6-6 is more than doable for this team, no doubt. So, Brian, when is the DC being dropped? Your guess is as good as mine, my friend. Your best is as good as your guess is as good as mine. So, Maddox says, I went to the basketball game Saturday. I liked what I saw. Yeah, again, give credit to the guys' gutsy performance. You had a month off. You had half your roster. They found a way to win. All that good stuff. Pat them on the back. Now things get serious, though, with SEC play. You got to find a way to, to come together. Hopefully the rest of your roster is ready to go. I mean, I'm just going to tell you guys this. If you have 9 guys available to play Wednesday, it's going to be rough. I think it's going to be very, very rough. So, Phil says, Muschamp hackers been trying to slow the streamer. The Muschamp hackers. Devil works hard. Muschamp hackers work harder. Tyler Noah, I saw someone say Jalen Brooks will be wide receiver 1 next year. Unless he has a breakout year, I don't see it. No offense. Now, the transfer from Georgia Tech, I think, has a chance to be pretty good. Yeah, listen, we'll see what Jalen Brooks can do. I'm not expecting him to be the number 1 wide receiver. That's all I'm going to say on that. I'm not expecting Jalen Brooks to be the number 1 wide out. No, I'm not. So maybe he can be developed, Maybe he can be developed. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Landon Lynette, always weary of rumors, but when it came out supposedly that Herman reached out to Tanner about the job that after he turned us down in 2015, I had a feeling his time was coming up to an end at Texas, and I can't help but think that if he turned us down at our worst in 2015, why would he want to come to us after a 2-8 season? No idea. Phil Harris, the market has spoken, Chris. Where's the Sling Blade t-shirt? It'll come. It'll come. I promise that'll come. I promise that will come. That will come. So I'm a fan of Martin. How many more years of basketball will it take for Tanner to pull the trigger on Martin? That is such a tough debate because, listen, I hear you out. And I've been critical of Martin at times. Listen, I'm not on the fire Frank Martin train at all. I've been critical of Martin at times, and fans are really sensitive when it comes to Frank Martin. That's something I've learned. But my biggest thing was this, and I said this actually last January or February or something like that. The biggest thing is this. You just have to, as an athletics department, you have to establish what is the year in, year out expectation at South Carolina. Because if the year in, year out expectation at South Carolina is to at least make the postseason or make the NCAA tournament, if you want to be that type of program, then you have to look at the job Frank Martin has done and say, are we really getting that? I mean, I know you made the Final Four, but outside of that, what have you done? You've made the tournament once in 9 years. And can you really judge Martin and company off this season with the chaos and everything? I don't know that you can. Listen, again, I'm not saying fire Frank Martin, but people have to be held accountable. You can't show up at your job. People don't. You can't show up at a job and not get the job done and keep your job. You just can't do it. So, again, it's tough to say. It's tough to say because I think South Carolina, I know it's tough to recruit at Carolina. I know it's tough to win, but I think the Gamecocks have everything in place to be a team that at least once every 2 or 3 years, makes the NCAA tournament. I don't think that's an unrealistic expectation for Gamecocks basketball. I really don't. So, John Gibbs, is Ortre Smith coming back with more development? He could be a great outside wide receiver. From what I've heard, he's coming back. I have no idea. Can he stay healthy? That is the question. Jonathan Lee, Shane needs to bring the culture of playing for an SEC school in early playing time. I think Mason as a DC also gives us a guy with head coach ability and a guy who cares for his team. Hope to hear this afternoon, correct? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if we heard this afternoon again. Board of Trustees is meeting to approve assistant coaches' contracts. I would not be surprised if Derek Mason's a part of that for sure. Drew Easterday, do you think we have a 20-plus home run hitter this year? Dude, 20-plus is a lot. I'm going to say no. But Wes Clark could be that guy. I mean, he had 8 when the season was called last year. So You never know. You never. Now, I 20 plus is a lot, man. That's a hell of a season. So, Brian Grice, are you going to make some shirts to knock on Dabo, number 11, Ohio? We already did. Go check out the store, tsus.store. Those are pretty funny. So, go check them out. Carolina Rangers, I hope South Carolina gets 6 or 7 wins next season and builds up a top 15 class. You and me both, my friend. Brandon Wagner, look at Carolina before Frank Martin. I get it. That's totally fair. Listen, I know Frank has done great things for Carolina basketball, but I'm just saying, at what point do you say, okay, we got to start seeing something on the floor? We just have to. So I think Frank Martin will retire and step down before South Carolina ever fires him. You know what I mean? Because again, I'm not saying you could go out there and get anybody much better than Frank. I'm really not. I'm not saying that. But at some point, you just got to, what are the yearly expectations? What are the yearly? You get paid to win. You don't get paid to be a feel-good guy. You don't get paid to, whatever. You get paid to win. So, Tyler Noel, this is a tournament team with the talent they have on the roster this year in men's basketball, but coaching-wise, could you really get another coaches any better? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I agree. I don't know that you could. But again, at some point, there's got to be expectations. Somebody has to be held accountable. So whether you want to fire assistants or something's got to change. You just can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. You got to make the postseason at minimum. Kathy, thank you. I like the hat as well. Repping the socks. JBJ. I know Phil Harris is a big fan of this hat. Savannah Webster, yeah. NIT, definitely. I mean, something. You got to do something. I think this should be a program that makes the NIT basically every single year, and every 2 or 3 years, once every 2 or 3 years, makes the NCAA tournament. I just don't think that's unrealistic. I don't know. Maybe my expectations are too high, but I don't know. So. Sholin Mason has his choice of LSU, Texas, Florida, and South Carolina right now. Yeah, again, I think he does land at South Carolina personally. That's what I'm hearing. So, Jim Widener, I heard we're interviewing the Arkansas strength coach today. And yeah, I saw that as well. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. So, Sholin, word of the day on the Daily Crow: Clemsoning. It's back. Yeah, I tell you, watching that game felt great. That felt great. Felt great. And taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-703-77. Guys, quick reminder, podcast this morning. Episode 351 dropped, breaking down everything from over the weekend, and also a great interview with Chris White, former Gamecocks offensive lineman. So. And, of course, schedule this week, guys. The Daily Crow all week long, noon to 1. Podcast all week, of course. Going live before the games on Wednesday and Saturday. We'll go live Wednesday, 8 to 8:30. Saturday, 5 to 5:30. The pregame shows for the Texas A&M and Ole Miss games, respectively, on Wednesday and Saturday. And, of course, we'll do live streams post-game as well. So I might do some random watch parties for basketball, by the way, if you guys are interested in that. Not necessarily like a partnership, but I've got buddies that are general managers of places in 5 Points and in the Vista and all that. And so you guys tell me, would you guys be interested in doing just like a cool hangout, watch party, meet and greet, whatever for basketball games? You guys let me know. I think it'd be something fun, because otherwise, I'm going to be here in the studio just watching the games, and maybe I'll go to a few every now and then, but I don't know. I love doing the watch parties. I love getting out of the studio and getting out and about and saying what's up and mingling with people. So if that's something you guys would be interested in, just let me know. I mean, I think it'd be cool. So I can talk to my buddy about it. I know he'd be down to do it. I know he'd probably love the free marketing, if you will. But I don't know. It's just something fun for me. So Justin Kyle, Chris White is from my hometown of Chester, South Carolina, and I graduated with Devin Downey. Those games were always wild. Pat to the brim. Yeah, it's so funny. So my roommate in college, my junior year, was from Chester. Played soccer at Newberry. So, yeah, good stuff. Savannah Webster. So I missed it. Ole Miss Saturday. Yes, at Ole Miss Saturday. Tip off at 6 o'clock. So tip off at 6 o'clock. Landon Lynette. Interested to see where Bentley and Helinski. Isn't that crazy? There's 2 former South Carolina quarterbacks in the transfer portal. It's just wild. Wild. Justin Kyle, what was his name? Trent Bagley. Trent Bagley, my former roommate. Shout out to Trent Bagley. Big Clemson fan, too. Big Clemson fan. But, man, probably the most hilarious human being I've ever met. One of them. Dude was awesome. Savannah Webb, other were saying stream was lagging, too. I have no idea. I mean, it's fine on my end. I already refreshed it once. I don't know. Savannah Webster expecting more coaching announcements today. Would not shock me at all if we found out who the DC was and the defensive backs coach. Would not shock me. Would not shock me. Again, 3 o'clock board of trustees meeting, 3 or 3:30 or something like that. Board of trustees meeting. They're approving contracts, so would not shock me at all if they announce that. Maddox Free, how you feeling about Marshawn Lloyd next year for the Gamecocks? I'm feeling great. Feeling great. Yeah, I think, feeling great. So I think Marshawn, again, as what's scary is as good a year as Kevin Harris had. If Marshawn Lloyd's the dude that we all think he is and he's supposed to be, he will be probably the starting running back. And that's scary. I think South Carolina is set at the running back position. So looks like somebody just tried to call in. If you want to call back in, 843-790-3377. That is the number. Justin Kyle, you hung out. Yeah, small world indeed, man. Yeah, Trent Bagley. What a legend. I don't know what Trent's up to these days, but yeah, he was my mate my junior year, and what a legend he was. So, or no, actually, excuse me, that was my sophomore year. I apologize. That was my sophomore year. Yeah. Elizabeth Ballard said, is Mason still the front runner for defensive coordinator? I think so. I'd be pretty surprised if it's not Derek Mason at this point. So, Justin Kyle, do you think we should have kept Helinski? I'm not worshiping him, but I just don't think Hill could be that much better. Either way, I think Doty would be your starter. I don't think it would have much mattered. And we'll back up online. He made a decision. Ryan wants to play, and I respect him for that. Yo, what's going on, man? How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Appreciate the call.
Listening and yeah. I was just listening, and you said, "Well, we're pretty much at the running back position." I was just thinking, I think it was pretty set at quarterback too for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you can develop Luke Doty, and obviously we all like Colton Gauthier, and you got Gunnar Stockton committed, and I feel really good that he's going to stay committed and sign with South Carolina. So yeah, I mean, the future of the quarterback position does feel bright as well. Not quite as deep as running back. No, I mean, I feel good. I feel good about quarterback and running back really for the foreseeable future. Again, quarterback's more the question. Doty, this is a big offseason for Doty. This is going to be a huge spring ball and summer and fall camp. He needs to develop. He's got to develop as a player. But I'm excited for Shane Beamer to get his hands on him, and even Mike Bobo to work with him and develop him. And I'm really excited for it. So yeah. I think there's if you can get some wide receiver, and South could have a pretty decent offense next year. So.
No, yeah, receiver's really the only. Is Muse coming back? Have we heard anything?
Muse has not made it official. If I had to guess, based on just stuff I've seen from social media, things Eric Kimry has said, I would expect him to come back. I think some of it might depend on who South Carolina picks up in the transfer portal. Do they get a big time tight end? There's a guy in the portal from Oklahoma. There's a Reek Gilbert from LSU. I mean, do they get one of those guys? I don't know. I don't know. Muse has not made anything official. If I had to guess right now, I think he will come back. But again, there's nothing official on that front. So,
yeah, he's probably waiting. Yeah. And then we're just waiting on what defensive coordinator and defensive back.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. Step hired as the
That's it.
Step hired as wide receiver. So again, board of trustees is meeting at 3:30 or 3:00 or something to approve contracts. So I would assume, I'd be pretty surprised if it doesn't come out by like Wednesday. I really would. So I don't know.
Mhm.
We'll see what happens though. But yeah, that's the 2 you're waiting
No,
on, DC and DB coach. We'll see what happens.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I appreciate the call. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks. Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff here on a Monday, guys. Let's see. Tyler Noel, do you think Fenwick will land another Power 5 school or go to a smaller school? I think he's good enough to play Power 5 ball. I think he could play Power 5 ball. I think he's a pretty damn good player. Every time he got an opportunity at South Carolina, he played pretty well. So I think he's a pretty damn good player. Scotty, no, Dan Mullen to the NFL. That's very interesting. All the rumors and stuff coming out. That'd be wild. That would be nuts, honestly. Because Florida's building something. I mean, it's not like Florida's a struggling program. I mean, they're building something right now. So if he took off to the NFL, that would put Florida in a very interesting position. Brayson Haney, is Mike Peterson the coach for all linebackers and Rocker the coach for the whole D line? Or are they still dividing up the bucks and DNs from the tackles? I think that's something Beamer's going to determine. I'm not 110% sure, to be honest with you. Maddox Free, how did you become a South Carolina fan? Really, it was my grandfather, and I wear his ring on my necklace. He's the reason I'm a Gamecock fan. He's the reason. Honestly, my parents, like my dad and mom, they're really not like I didn't grow up in a family that was going to every game and tailgating and all that. And, but my grandfather really, really was a big fan and watched every game. And he's really the one that got me into it, man. So as my grandfather got me into it, and I was hooked. I was hooked from the beginning. So Jim Widener, Doty needs to develop as a passer. He needs to develop as a quarterback all around, I'd say. Footwork, reading defenses, checks, but of course, developing as a passer, all of it. He needs to sharpen his skills all the way around. So Justin says, with Frank, I give him 2 more years and we have to pull the trigger. We are really not known as a basketball school who definitely has got attention on our way with the Final Four. I mean, that's fair. I mean, again, I'm just saying, like, I like Frank, but at some point, like, again, what are the expectations? You know what I mean? What are the expectations? There has to be some sort of expectation set. So, because I think we could be getting more out of South Carolina basketball than we're getting right now. That's my whole point. So, all right, let's check the phones here.
Phil Harris.
Hey, Phil, what's up, man?
Chris, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Up here in snowy New Hampshire again, of course.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. I know you probably appreciated the Red Sox hat today. So.
Oh, that's what I was about to say, man. Like, you look real sharp in the Red Sox hat today.
Yeah, for sure, man. I figure why not? So.
Anytime I bring up any friends or family to New Hampshire for the first time, I always take them down to Fenway in Boston. That place is more magical than Disney World, man. It is unbelievable there.
Yeah, it's definitely on my bucket list. It's definitely on my bucket list for sure.
What I wanted to call in about real quick is I actually just finished up Terry Francona's book that he wrote while chronicling all of his ups and downs with the Red Sox. And it reminded me, he talked about how everybody bought in 2004 when they won the World Series. Mm-hmm. And then by the time he was pushed out by the ownership group, when they had that monumental collapse in September of 11, I think it was,
mm-hmm.
He was trying to reach out to some of those players and the team meetings and try to course correct so that they could actually get into the playoffs. And it was falling on deaf ears. People were rolling their eyes. They had brought in, Adrian Gonzalez and Chris Crawford. And all of those guys had become consumed with their individual performances and their stats. And am I going to be able to bat today? Am I going to be on the bench? And, all this other stuff. Like, it became an individual trying to make themselves look better than actually caring about the team.
Right.
And I wonder if that, what happened at the end of the Muschamp era. We had a lot of guys, thinking that they were bigger than the team and things like that. I'd love to read a book in the next couple of years if somebody around South Carolina Beach could do a collapse of the Muschamp era. That would be very entertaining, I think.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's we hear things from behind closed doors or, whatever that's, Muschamp was very focused on the NFL and trying to get guys to the league. And you saw it. We had guys go to the league, but again, very individual based for sure. And, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I think there were a lot of reasons the Champ era failed, but I think that's definitely a reason. No doubt. I think that's definitely a reason that we did not see it succeed. And, that's why you hired a guy like Beamer, you know what I mean? To get that togetherness, if you will, and build that culture back up, caring about the name on the front of the jersey more than the back. But that's a good point. That's a really, really good point. And, the best teams are ones, you obviously have individual goals and you want to hit these stats, but you care more about the good of the team. And, every great team is that way because, again, if the team wins, your stats will take care of themselves. So,
right.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, though. Yeah, I think that's definitely a big thing. So
there's countless examples of teams that, only recruit 2 and 3 stars that have like breakout years and programs that are not exactly known for winning. I'm thinking right off the top of my head, Utah, several years back, I think it was even before they were in the Pac-12, they came out and just had a tear of a season. And those were guys who weren't highly recruited, a bunch of 3-star nobodies on that team, but they were bought into the culture and wanting to win games and thinking that they could, play, better than the opposition. Were probably better and more talented than they were. So that's what we need on this South Carolina team, at least for the first couple of years. On a positive note, I'll say this, and it's good to have Clemson lose again in the fashion that they did. They Clemson themselves out of a game. And it really was based on their head coach running his mouth when he didn't have to. So hopefully this is the end. This is the beginning of the end of the Tater empire in football. That would be amazing if they just crumble over the next couple of years and we get back on the winning ways here. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, and then maybe we can read a book on their collapse and the scandals and all that. Maybe that's something that'll come from all this. I don't know. We all wish and hope, right? So
maybe Disney Plus will make a movie about that.
God, yeah. Maybe Disney Plus will make a follow-up. So,
all right, man.
Yeah, always a pleasure to chat with you, Phil. Appreciate you.
Have a good one.
Thanks,
Bye.
man. You too. Bye. Yeah, great stuff, guys. Got a couple minutes left. Let me check really quickly. Let's see. Okay, we'll go till 1 o'clock. So I'm actually chatting, guys. I said it earlier in the chat, but I'm actually chatting with former Gamecocks quarterback Chris Smelly today. So really excited about that. We're going to chat basically right after this. So you guys will hear that interview a week from today. That'll be next Monday's show. So really excited about that. ICarry_Sand stream NCAA. That is the plan. I'm thinking tomorrow night, probably. I haven't decided whether I want to do Road to Glory or Dynasty. I mean, I want to do both in some capacity, but I don't know what I want to do first. I may do Road to Glory first and maybe wait a little bit before we do Dynasty because it feels so far out to do Dynasty. And I'd like to do Dynasty with like next year's roster. So I may wait a little bit, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably do Road to Glory, to be honest with you. I'll probably do Road to Glory. So let's see. Old Smelly indeed. Old Smelly. Can't wait, man. Can't wait. Kind of a forgotten guy. Really interesting stuff. So Brooks says Luke Doty seemed to be very nervous out there this year. To me, that says youth and nothing major. Yeah, and you got to think what he was working with, man. A true freshman quarterback, no help at wide receiver, shoddy offensive line. You're asking a lot of that kid to go out there and make plays. Somebody asked, Terrell Campbell Sr., have you watched the Clemson movie? Absolutely not. No. No. And I'm not going to. Why would I want to watch the movie? I have no interest whatsoever. So, Maddox free. Yeah, it's probably going to be Road to Glory. So, Lance Player, my cock is smelly. Yeah. I'm going to ask about those t-shirts. What thoughts were on that? But again, guys, appreciate you tuning in. We got about 30 seconds just in closing here. Thanks so much again for tuning in. Check out the podcast that dropped this morning if you have not, episode 351, recapping everything from over the weekend. Chris White, former Gamecocks offensive line as well, joining the show. Really great conversation. Again, guys, normal schedule this week. The Daily Crow every single day, noon to 1, Monday through Friday. We'll also do the pregame and postgame shows for the game Wednesday night and Saturday, the basketball games, and podcasts every single day, of course. So again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll do it again tomorrow. Thanks, guys.